Subscribe.
Gratitude, happiness, joy. What's the difference between that and the exact opposite? And the difference is very simple. It's simply a vibration, a resonance. And what if there was a way to tune into one resonance, one vibration, one energy over another? Well, there is once we understand what we call the law of vibration. In this episode of Inspired, episode 7, we're going to be speaking about how to use the awareness of the law of vibration to tune into happiness, gratitude, and joy. My name is Jason Shurka, and this is Inspired. So to understand how to tap into gratitude, happiness, joy, we first have to understand a basic law of creation, a basic law of the universe. And that law is the law of vibration. The law of vibration states that you experience what you are in resonance with. But there's another law that we have to know. And when we combine the two, we experience what we desire as opposed to what we don't. Your two laws are the law of conservation and the law of vibration. As I've already stated, the law of vibration says you experience what you're in resonance with, while the law of conservation states that energy cannot be created or destroyed. So what are the implications of each? And how does knowing about these laws help us tune into a life of more gratitude, joy, and happiness instead of the opposite? Well, if the law of conservation says that energy is not created or destroyed, and this is not a belief, this is not an opinion, this is an absolute fact of the reality physically that we live in. If energy cannot be created or destroyed, and all realities can simply be deduced down to an energy, then that means that all realities, a happy you, a sad you, a you experiencing lack, a you experiencing abundance, a healthy you, a sick you, all of those realities exist right here, right now. You don't have to create them. You just have to access them. And the difference between a reality where you're happy and a reality where you're sad, a reality where you're healthy, a reality where you're sick, is simply a difference in resonance, almost like the radio. All these radio stations exist. You don't have to create the country radio station when you want to listen to it. You just have to tune your tuner to that other resonance in order to tune into it. And that brings us into the law of vibration. So we already know that all realities already exist because energy cannot be created or destroyed. And if the law of vibration tells us that we experience what we're in resonance with, then simply what you choose to tune to is what you will experience, because all already exists right here, right now. So I want you to zoom out for a second and look at your life. What does your external reality look like? Are you spending time with happy people? Are you spending time with sad people? Are you spending time with healthy people? Are you spending time with sick people? Are you spending time with people that experience lack? Are you spending time with people who experience abundance? Just by the people that you spend time with, that is your tuner, at least a piece of it. The words that come out of your mouth, the topics, the subjects that you choose to focus on, focusing on what you do desire as opposed to what you don't. In other words, I choose to be happy. I am happy as opposed to I don't want to be sad. I am grateful for what I have as opposed to why don't I have X, Y, and Z. The way that you operate in both your internal environment and your external environment is a reflection of itself. And to be able to see that reflection, you can look at either to understand what you are resonating with, because ultimately, your external reality is a reflection of your internal. And your internal reality is a reflection of your external. So the easiest way to understand what you're currently tuned to is simply to look around you. Is everything that's happening around you operating in something that you call balance, or operating in what you call chaos? And ultimately, we already understand that chaos has balance within. But I'm speaking about the surface over here. in a linear way of understanding, so we can move through this and retune our reality from one of the opposite of gratitude into one where we say thank you for what we have. So some of you may be sitting here and saying, well, how can I say thank you if I'm experiencing a lot of things that I don't want? We've already established that throughout this series as a whole. The things that you experience as your greatest hardships are the things that we have to be most grateful for, because those are the gifts that you're being given. Those are the opportunities that you're receiving in order to elevate, transcend, and change your life from what you experience as what you don't want into transmuting that very energy into what you've wanted all along, because you've already had it. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. The reality that you desire is right here, right now. Step number one is understanding energy cannot be created or destroyed. The law of conservation. It all exists right now. Step number two is choosing to tune to that infinite realm, infinite spectrum of realities, and choosing which one you want in this present moment. Not one that you have to create, but one that you choose to access because it's already been created for you. That's how the universe works. And from there, being grateful for not just what you have, but the experiences of hardship that you have along the way, because that shows you where you can move out of to move into a greater reality. And it's those hardships that will bring you into that greater reality, so long as you choose to look at them as a positive opportunity, as opposed to why is this happening to me? So let's bring this full circle. How do we experience happiness, joy, gratitude in our day-to-day as much as possible? And does that mean we experience it all the time? No, because we're human beings and we're allowed to go out of that because we operate in this body that forgets those things sometimes. The goal and the point is to always bring it back to that level, to bring it back to source, to bring it back to what's actually going on as opposed to the illusions that you think are going on. And to be grateful for not just what you do have in what you like, but the hardships that you have as well. The moment you can choose to do that and see the balance and harmony in absolutely everything, you will literally change your resonance. You will literally refine and tune to a different reality, one that you choose to experience simply by a change in your perception. In the next episode of Inspired, and the last episode of Inspired, we're going to be speaking about the most important topic of all, which is freedom. What does freedom really mean? We all have different definitions of that very thing, but I'm going to give you a big picture of what freedom and liberation actually looks like in action beyond the words of I'm free. I look forward to speaking about that topic and closing this 8-part series on Unified TV with that very important topic for us all, because ultimately we are moving from a planet, from an experience of enslavement into an experience of true freedom and true liberation, which starts within. I'll see you all on the next episode of Inspired.
Subscribe.
Hey, thanks for watching this video. There's so much more I'd like to dive into, but unfortunately, we can't do that here thanks to the heavy censorship efforts from big tech. If you want to explore this topic further, you can dive deep by accessing our entire uncensored library on unified.tv. There's a link in the description below this video if you want to check it out. A membership to Unified TV gives you unlimited access to hundreds of uncensored podcasts, investigative journalism, documentaries, films, and content that was once available on major streaming platforms like Netflix, but is now banned from the internet. For just $14.99 a month, which is less than $1 a day, you get access to it all. Your subscription also helps keep the platform running free from censorship and corporate influence. Please consider supporting us and enjoy all of our unfiltered and thought-provoking content in return. Thank you very much, and I will see you on Unified TV.